On this week's show, both men's and women's basketball look to continue their winning ways and find out what decision changed Zach Cleveland's life.
Plus, we'll get to know head women's tennis coach Connell, and we'll hear from CUSA Preseason Player of the Year Rachel Roop. There it is. This is Flame Central.
Welcome into what I promise will be the best show you watch today. She's Emily Austin. I'm Matt Warner. This is Flame Central, and we're talking all things Liberty athletics.
Some great stories to share with you today, including a feature on Flames basketball star Zach Cleveland. But before we talk about the guys on the court, we start with the guy on the sideline.
Yeah, we told you a couple of weeks ago that Liberty basketball coach Richie McKay was closing in on the Flames' all-time wins record, and this past Saturday, he would reach that mark. And the Flames beat FIU 82-59. Richie McKay secured his 260th win as a Flame, moving him past Jeff Meyer to become the winningest coach in Liberty basketball history. That record was celebrated not so much by McKay himself, but certainly by his players, a raucous scene in the Flames locker room as their head coach makes some history. McKay was asked about this accomplishment, and not surprisingly, he deflected the credit to others.
There's a long list of people that have contributed to this, so honored that I get a chance to coach at Liberty, but even more so blessed that we've had the people that have walked through our doors help us achieve that, and even the guys that have gone before us. And Coach Meyer is a legendary coach at Liberty, and glad that I can be in the same breath as what he and his staff and those players did.
Yeah, I'm definitely not surprised that was Coach McKay's response to such a remarkable achievement. So yes, he's humble, but he's also very competitive, and I'm sure he wants to keep racking up those wins this season. He, Colin Porter, and the Flames would have the opportunity to do so on the road at Kennesaw State. So I know we're going to see plenty of Zach Cleveland in just a moment, but how do you not show this beautiful basketball? Whew, not enough? All right, moments later, Colin Porter, the lob, Cleveland, boom. Liberty jumps out to an early lead. Later in the half, we've seen this matchup before. Porter against the buzzer. Doesn't stand a chance. Flames up 10 at the break. Kennesaw State trying to hang around in the second, but Katie Matheny was not messing around. Yeah, I heard the traffic is bad in the Atlanta area. Matheny drives right through it to extend Liberty's lead. Matheny led the way for the Flames with 17 points, 12 in the second alone. Owls still trying to make a comeback late. Matheny said, "Give me that." Liberty forced 12 turnovers on the night, then the feed to Taylon Peter, who had another great night off the bench. Liberty up 13 with 5 to play. Matheny late again, this time from deep range. Night-night Owls. Flames win their third straight, handing Kennesaw State its first home loss. Final score 76-68.
Well, if you've watched Liberty basketball over the past few seasons, you know how important Zach Cleveland has been to their success. The guy literally does everything on the basketball court. He's the ultimate team player. And yet, as you're about to find out, while he may be a team guy, he plays the game for just one person.
In the Good News Bible, Proverbs 29:25 says, "It is dangerous to be concerned with what others think of you. If you trust the Lord, you're safe." And I've kind of took that verse and prayed about it, thought about it before every game, and just realized who I'm playing for. And I think the audience of one thing really has a different meaning when you truly believe it.
We have 3 children, and he stood out because he was competitive from the get-go. When he was in kindergarten, he just knew he was going to win the race that the school was running. So that means he's running against 5th graders when he's a kindergartner. They said, "Go." Well, he bolted out in front of the 5th graders. You know, I am going to win this race. And you could just see in his face, that's Zach Cleveland. I'm going to win.
Zach clearly had a love for sport and competition that would be on full display from a young age.
He sat and watched me coach basketball, and what I found unique about him, he didn't sit and get it bored and play with the toys on the side. He was at the baseline watching the practice.
I would be like 6 years old and just sitting in the sideline watching 2-hour practices, like with my mouth open, drooling, like watching just them run through plays and stuff like that. So I think I've always had that love for basketball.
And Zach didn't just have love for the game. He had the talent to go with it.
in 7th, 8th grade when he was getting more involved in AAU activities, and you could see that he belonged out there. He always made his teammates better, and he always made his team better when he was out there. And I thought, well, he'll find a place. If he wants to play, he'll find a place on a team.
It wouldn't be until Zach's sophomore season of high school, in the midst of the COVID pandemic, that he would catch the eye of Liberty Associate head coach Derek Johnston.
I do remember the clip where I'm like, yeah, that dude can see. He knows how to play. Someone throws it to him, the ball barely touches his hands, and he quick one more. So I'm like, yeah, he can see. And then you keep watching and you see his competitiveness, his athleticism, his toughness. I was like, yeah, I think he's one of us.
And they recruited me hard after that. But it was all phone calls. No one ever got to see me play in person. And so I still remember one specific moment was when they were in March Madness about to play Oklahoma State in the bubble or whatever it kind of was.
Derek called and said, would you do a Zoom call with us while we're at the NCAA tournament? And I just thought, that seems weird.
I mean, there's not a much better recruiting tool than like, hey, we're at the tournament, look at us, you know?
When we got off the call, I remember saying, the coaches, I can't believe they took their time away from watching film to do a Zoom call with us.
That was pretty intentional, I felt like, and I felt like that showed how much they wanted me. And so that was a big kind of part of my recruitment process. I was like, well, these guys really want me.
But soon Zach discovered that the exhilaration of playing Division I basketball would also come with plenty of frustration, namely in the form of external pressures and criticism that could easily bring him down.
A player like him who has such expectations for himself, obviously for our team, in a public position, you're just getting an onslaught of things all the time. I think all of us, we're in a performance-based industry, so it's hard. Like, how do we live in that friction?
If you live by their praises, you'll die by their criticism. That's what Coach McKay always told us. And I felt that in full blast because the applause felt so good, but then you have a bad game, you look on social media and that eats you up. And that feeling was one of the worst feelings I've had in my life.
And so, knowing that something needed to change, at the end of the 2023-24 season, Zach surrendered to a purpose bigger than basketball.
Particularly over the past year, I think his faith has really grown a lot.
Just being able to find something to put my hope in, and I started believing what God said about me and really reading, writing down like who God says I am. Once I started believing that, like my life completely changed. I think you could kind of see it on the court this year. Just the joy I'm having.
To Cleveland, dunks it right down the paint.
I see him being at peace, and then I actually see him love the game more because it doesn't bring him the frustration. And that's what's so refreshing.
There's a statement you'll hear around our program, like, it's not truth that transforms, it's trusted truth. And he has the audacity now to operate out of his convictions. And it's been really cool to see those things grow together with his competitiveness, his ability to be a thermostat. He has such influence for our team and our campus, and it's easy to know why when you get around him.
There's no better feeling than becoming the person that God's created you to be. And I think I was way off track my first couple years, and so I'm finally starting to see that path, the narrow road, and being able to live in that.
Well, Emily, you did a great job producing that story, so I'll give you a little love there. But that wasn't necessarily the story you thought it was going to be when you went into it.
No, I wanted to take the angle of how athletic Zach's family was. His mom played professional basketball. His sister was an All-American volleyball player. But then Zach started opening up about his faith journey the last year, and it was just really cool to see him, be so vulnerable and share that with us.
And see the maturity as well. You hear about him being a leader on this team, and in a lot of ways, this is one way he can be a leader by showing what he's learned along the way.
And impacting so many others. All right, we go from the basketball court to the tennis court. When Dash Connell was first hired back in June, we had a brief conversation with him on the Flame Central podcast, but now that he's settled in on the mountain, we wanted to give you an inside look at a practice and how he's leading the Lady Flames.
Why? Arm? When they first hired me to come here, the picture they decided to put up, I was like looking over the shoulder or whatever, and I was like, that's just not me. It's just not me at all, though. My name's Dash Connell. I was at Tyler Junior College, did 2 years as an assistant there, and then I got promoted to be the head coach, and I did that for 13 years, and now I'm here at Liberty. Most beautiful day in the country. Lynchburg, VA. I like to be collaborative with the player. I like getting their point of view along with my point of view. And I tell the girls this all the time, if we're not gonna have fun, I don't wanna be here. So I make sure that it's enjoyable. Ah! You hit the microphone! It's a strange job that I get to do where I get to coach people how to play a sport as they go to school. What a blast. I mean, it's just a cool thing to be able to do. So I try to bring that energy every day of this is enjoyable, this is fun.
Oh, Sage, you gotta get around this ball. She's getting after you. 10-1.
My faith impacts how I coach from a relationship standpoint, how I can connect with my players. I don't feel like it's my job all the time to be a vocal preacher, even though I'm not afraid to speak sometimes.
You can tell you missed those couple in a row, and you let it hang around too much. Get over it. Do a squat like a volley and get over it. Come on. Come on.
My approach to team building and player development, it's really important for me. If everybody doesn't show up every day for practice, we're not as good. So we have a word that we use, it's Ubuntu. It's a Zulu word, it's a Southern African word, and the idea of it is I can't be my best me without you, and you can't be your best you without me. You have to have each other. I think there's a lot of Christ in that and how he wants the church to function. We're supposed to be with each other, right? Fellowship, and we strengthen each other because God's working through all of us, right? And so I think that is the same way we function with our team. They're only gonna be as good as the person next to them.
This is the intensity we have to have, okay? We have to have it from the beginning. You can't have coach people.
My number one goal is to have that culture. We love working together and we love being together. What that looks like, I think the way I've always functioned my whole career is if I label a goal with wins and losses, then I'm rarely happy because you're gonna lose sometimes. I think it's just getting the team to that next step of toughness, the next step of just believing in themselves and working together.
I'm either going to be in a wheelchair and coach forever, or I'll be 59 and go to the beach.
I think the reason everyone's so excited about Liberty is you feel like there's even more potential. There's more things that God continues to bless Liberty, and you just feel like he's not done. And I want to be a part of that ride. Hopefully we'll make everybody proud this semester.
Continue to help us live it. Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Plays on 3, 1, 2, 3, play!
Coming up after the break, we check in with the ladies. Can LU continue its winning streak? Plus, we hit the diamond for some preseason love.
And Rhett McGibbon joins the show for Warm, Hot, and Fuego. It's all next. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to Liberty University's online programs, where living out your calling with integrity is what you train to do. And getting ready for the future doesn't mean missing out on the now. Because a university is more than buildings and books. And an education should set you free, not fence you in. Welcome to Liberty's global campus, where distance learning was pioneered and evolved into one of the top-ranked schools in the nation. Where protecting your budget, your time, and your education isn't just a theory, it's our priority. Here, degrees in your field reflect industry demands and help you get ahead of the competition. Where college comes to you, but you can come to college too. Game day, homecoming, graduation day. Your school, your values, your experience, your choice. Welcome to Liberty University, where we train champions for Christ.
So you're looking for a university that has anything you could possibly need.
Anything?
You want a place that has the programs you want to study.
I think I'm going to sign up for the fashion design program.
All right, a place with state-of-the-art facilities.
And who doesn't love big-time sports?
Somewhere you can hike, slide, climb, and most importantly, eat. And all that with a great view? Yeah, I think I know a place.
Liberty University's K-12 online academy has the resources your family needs to excel. Students benefit from a flexible learning schedule with a team of teachers and advisors who are always ready to help. Our affordable rates are guaranteed to stay through June 2026. Plus, with the LUOA Graduate Scholarship, our graduates receive 50% off residential tuition at Liberty University. Discover a Christian education tailored to your student, from kindergarten all the way to college.
At Liberty University, we understand life can be unpredictable, and when you need a resilient career, your education should withstand any test. So we've made sure the degree you need is within reach by freezing one of the lowest tuition rates in the nation for 8 years and counting, and giving scholarships, discounts, and credit for work you've already done. Because we're proud of what you do. We've done this for over 30 years, and we know how to help. We're here to help you.
Welcome back to the show. Liberty women's basketball had been cruising through their recent Conference USA slate. 5 straight wins, a 6-1 overall record had them tied atop the league. They looked to stay hot on Thursday night when they hosted Kennesaw State. Liberty was a heavy favorite, but the Owls would make it tough on them early. In fact, Kennesaw State led for much of the first quarter. But in the second, all that would change. LU would go on a 21-0 run, sparked by Emma Hess. The senior led the team with 14 points, including 4 3-pointers. In this game, she became just the second Lady Flame to ever surpass 200 career threes. She was one of 4 players in double figures as the Lady Flames cruised to the finish line, winning 74-39. It's the largest margin of victory ever for Liberty in a CUSA game. And with the win, LU remains tied atop the conference with a 7-1 record in CUSA play.
We'll stay on the court for our next Follow the Leader segment. Head coach Kerry Green has been leading the Liberty women's basketball program for 26 years. He even remembers the moment when he followed God's calling to coach this game. And ever since, he's built his program with a foundation in the Lord.
In our program, our mission statement is to develop women of excellence who honor God in the game of basketball and in life. My goal is seeing character developed and a focus and a vision for eternal values. I think we can do that. They're going to impact people for Christ. And that's our goal, pretty simple. You know, with the parents that I had that kept us in church, gave me the opportunity to see and feel God's calling. And at 11 years old, I accepted Christ at home, praying with my mom. My dad was there, and never been the same since. From that point on, I was just a typical boy, and I just fell in love with the game of basketball. Somewhere around 12 or 13 years old, I had a very selfish prayer. And the selfish prayer was, God, please let me be 6'2" and keep me from being injured, because I want to play college ball. That's a desire of my heart. And the opportunity came, not at a high level, but a junior college level. And that's all I need, because I loved the game. And it was at Coastal Carolina. I walked away with a degree in marine biology. So after playing my last game, well, now I'm ready to step out and do my own thing. So I'm aggressive, I'm chasing dreams, and every door shut. Every door shut. And at that point in time, I realized that my passion to play the game of basketball at 12 or 13 and wanting to play in college, and God granting the desires of my heart, He wanted for me to use that to glorify Him. I can remember at that point in time, God just whispered quietly, "This is what I'd love for you to do." And it was truthfully the only opportunity that I had. But now I could look back and see how He's worked in my life. I'm coaching, I'm investing in young people's life, and just to be part of that is exciting and certainly a blessing for me.
Thanks to Josh Quigg for producing that story. All right, we turn our attention now to Liberty softball. Recently, we told you they had earned preseason top 25 recognition. So it was no surprise when the Conference USA preseason poll came out and the Lady Flames were at the top of the list. Liberty is the runaway favorite in the CUSA, garnering 9 of the 10 first-place votes in the league. It's the 7th straight season the Lady Flames have been voted the preseason #1 team. Now, 5 of those years were in the A-Sun, back-to-back seasons now in Conference USA. Liberty won both the regular season and tourney titles a year ago and extended their streak to 4 straight years of reaching an NCAA regional. But the preseason love doesn't stop there. Outfielder Rachel Roop was named the Preseason Player of the Year after a season in which she led CUSA in doubles, on base percentage, and OPS. And Elena Escobar was named Preseason Pitcher of the Year. The right-hander was second in the conference in wins a year ago and third in strikeouts. This marks the 5th time in program history that the Lady Flames have won both the Preseason Player and Pitcher of the Year awards in the same season.
Look, Matt, I feel like a broken record here, but Rachel Roop is named the CUSA Preseason Player of the Year. Rachel Roop gets an invitation on the Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage. Greatness, it just comes hand in hand. Anyway, when you look at the Lady Flames schedule, they have some pretty tough tests to start the season, as usual. But as you'll hear from the superstar on this week's podcast, it's worth it in the long run.
We always say, like, oh boy, Dot hasn't done them any favors. Look at the schedule, whatever.
Yeah.
How much do you feel like those games, win or lose, prepare you, though, for either conference tournament time or then hopefully when you get into regionals?
Yeah, they prepare us so well for that. I'm sure you guys have seen the records, through those first 2 weeks. It's a grind.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep, you lose more than you win sometimes. But by the time we get to the end of the year, it gets to a point where you become numb to the name on the jersey and you just realize, they're just like me. The ball has to pass over the plate. It's one pitch at a time. You start to kind of simplify it as you get older and you see that kind of schedule.
Rachel was actually really fun to talk to on the podcast, so check that out if you haven't already. You know who else is an enjoyable guy to talk to? Rhett McGibbon.
Thanks.
He's here now. Warm, hot, and fuego.
Yeah.
Top player moment from the past week in Liberty Athletics. What kind of theme are we working with this week, Rhett?
National Croissant Day.
Croissant?
Yeah. Speaking of croissant, I don't know why I did this. The Canadian background in me, I was going through drive-through as a Starbucks, getting a coffee, and I saw oh, they have croissants here.
Yes.
For some reason, though, in my head, I forgot the word croissant, and that's why I ordered it, croissant. And my wife looks at me, she's like, what on earth are you doing? These people started looking at me funny when I drove up. It was kind of funny. But anyways, I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Are we working croissants into
We're
each
just going to say
person here?
croissant. Yeah, we are. We are doing that.
Okay, let's start with Warren.
Our first one's just your standard butter croissant. You can eat, chicken salad on it.
Done
if you want to throw in some blueberry jam, you're getting into it. Kelly Nangle, women's lacrosse. I wanted to give her props just recently.
Hey, croissant? Say that 5 times fast.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even think about that. Mount St. Mary's inducted her into the Hall of Fame.
How about that?
When she was a player, 204 ground balls, 116 caused turnovers. When you think of the Lady Flames now and their defensive acumen and how they're always up there and cause turnovers, it just makes perfect sense when I saw this stat that Kelly Nangle is just bringing what she did back in Mount St. Mary's.
She was feisty.
Yeah, I'm sure she was. That red hair just flying around.
Right.
I'd be scared, but great to see that happen for her. She's also great on the draw controls, and she's had a history of really good draw control young ladies here at Liberty. So congrats to her.
Coach Nangle, absolutely.
Hall of Famer.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, from warm we go to hot.
All right. Chocolate croissant, I don't right there, hand in hand. It almost could be in fuego, in all honesty. Avery Mills, the hot athlete of the week. This young lady, I've been saying, Matt, behind closed doors, and
say it out loud.
I really think, before she is done at Liberty, she is going to be a conference player of the year.
Wow.
One of the all-time greats, really do.
Wow.
When you look at her, 20 triples on the season, she's shooting just under 50% from three-point land in limited minutes. That's impressive on her own. But just recently, 6 of 8 from the field, 2 of 4 from, again, beyond the arc, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, a block shot. As she continues to develop in this program, and I think the one thing is just getting a little bit better defensively. Okay. Then she's just going to be a rock star. It's so much fun to watch her already. You can tell that she is not your everyday freshman that comes in, so it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Great having her in limited minutes, a player that talented. It tells you how deep this team is as well.
Sure.
All right, finally, Rhett, in fuego.
All right, have you ever had that almond croissant that comes out? I don't know what's inside of it, if it's a maple flavoring.
I don't know, but it's fantastic.
I'm just going to be safe and say it's goop, but it's really good.
Great goop.
It's excellent. Joshua Smith, triple jump. Coming through, dramatic fashion.
Is this our first triple jump in fuego? I think it is.
And it always throws me off when I read the distance because I'm like, they jumped 49 feet, but sure enough, he did. 49 feet and just over 2 inches. He beat the runner-up by a centimeter. Woo! It was round 6, so it was do or die time. He gets it done. That's less than half an inch for you Americans out there.
Thank you for that.
It was excellent.
I feel like I would blow both ACLs if I ever tried to triple jump, don't you think?
Yes.
All right, Rhett, great job as always. We always appreciate it. All right, hey, more Flame Central coming up after this. Don't go anywhere.
So our daughter Bella did LUOA and she absolutely loved it.
Yeah, and all our kids, it was a little bit different how they did school because when they were in school, Duck Dynasty was going on.
For Bella, it worked out for us to just kind of go all the way homeschool, which that flexibility of being able to do school online and travel with us when she wanted to travel was just a really great blessing. And that's a great thing that LUOA offers is you can kind of move at your own pace, move faster if you need to.
So yeah, that certainly matched up for
Flexibility was
for sure
a key. So to be able to have LUOA to like guide her and have actual real life teachers and a whole framework set up was really, really helpful. I would say doing the online academy really prepared Bella for college. It actually, it's a lot of hard work, but the teachers are so great at helping you through it, helping you kind of through that learning curve. And I definitely feel like it really prepared her for what was to come for a college career.
A college degree is more than a diploma. It's taking control of your future and finding that next step. At Liberty University, we not only care about your career, we also care about your calling. And we want to help you learn, develop, and grow so you can make an impact as a champion for Christ. Over 600 online programs, one you, infinite possibilities.
The Liberty University Chevrolet was awesome. Here comes a big push to the 24 and the inside lane.
And William Byron comes off turn 4 to win.
Well, we had so much more we wanted to say. Unfortunately, we're out of time. So if you've missed any stories along the way, libertyflamecentral.com, your one-stop shop. Check it out.
If you can't get enough of Flame Central, then you're going to love the Flame Central podcast.
Yes.
We drop a new episode, Matt, Joe, and myself, each and every Monday, so you got to check it out. For Matt, I'm Emily. We'll see you right back here next week.